we're calling it Isla del Encanto, which is one of the like names that Puerto Ricans have for Puerto Rico, which is like the island of enchantment, La Isla del Encanto. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm calling it.
Okay. I think our ad would be, welcome to the MeMeCherry Show, produced by things I can't pronounce.
La Isla del Encanto. So La.
No, I'm not doing that.
Do it.
No. This isn't part of my contract.
Yes, it is. La Isla
de
El Encanto. You did it.
Okay, I did it. Shout out to them.
To break it down into pieces.
Shout out to them. Well, you'll hear my pitch in 6 months.
Go.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate events. Fortunate events. Fortunate events. A series of fortunate events.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to a very low-key and calm latest episode of the series of Fortunate Events podcast, brought to you by who? It's still me, MeMeCherry, and our sponsor, Neil Does Art. But today I'm joined by...
Seamus Donohoe.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I started to spaz out a little bit there. I forgot what I was doing. I was like, I started to do math in my head. Like, wait, how many number of sponsor episodes have we done? Is this the last one? Yes, it is. Okay, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna cut that out. Yeah. Bleep, 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 bleep. Hi.
Hi. We're back.
We're back from Vegas.
We're back from Vegas.
We are back from Vegas, and we are back from Oasis, from watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Shout out to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air cast. You know
well
what? Let's
done.
start there. Mm-hmm. I took you on a MeMeCherry Productions team
field
offsite.
Trip.
Yes, a field trip, an offsite. We did a site visit for Oasis because I don't know if you've heard, August 7th at Oasis in San Francisco, we're doing MeMeCherry's Big Bake, a.k.a. the Bay Area's first reverse roast. And you, my dear, knew of Oasis kind of, sort of, not really, but had never been there, right?
Correct.
And so I wanted you to, like, one thing is to show you pictures, but another thing is to go, and another thing is to like go do a site visit on a Tuesday afternoon versus like go to a show on a night, same night that we're doing our show, same time, same room setup, and a way more talented cast than we will, but we're gonna try to fill the shoes of the amazing, talented roster of people that go through Oasis as it is. But let's go with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for now. And tell me, first of all, your first impressions of the show. You went into it not knowing what to expect. And I turned around a couple times because the way that they sat us, you were behind me, so I couldn't really tell how into it you were. But every time I turned around, you were smiling. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I would say that anytime that I find out that I'm on my way to see a parody of anything, I sort of walk in with like, oh, how's this going to go? But I was in awe. It's a wonderful show, and it's really clever. Like, they break the fourth wall in a million different ways. It's really interactive. It's just a lot of fun. Really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out Hammy, who was again in the titular role of Will Smith, killing it as always. Mud, the Two-Spirit, returning as Carlton. Cheetah was, I forget the sister's name. It says Ashley and Vivian, right? Or Vivian's the mom.
Vivian's
so
the mom.
Ashley, and then what's the older sister? I always forget her name, but then she was also, and so anyway, so Cheetah was playing the baby sister, Ashley, and Betty Jane was playing the older sister and a different character, and the icon Miss Ronnie Nothing More was playing both Aunt Viv and Will Smith's mom, and it was really cute the way that they would like really lean into like, and I'm totally a different character right now, not at all the one you saw me do doing earlier. But they did it so well. It just added to the magic of the breaking of the fourth wall of it all, like you said.
It was a lot of fun, and they set in such as like the space that they had too. Like it did feel very almost like you were like in the audience of the '90s retaping or whatever. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And there were many other cast members that I'm not remembering everybody's name right now, but definitely check out previous podcast guests, Major Hammy, Cheetah, Betty Jane, and Mud. And actually, Mud the Two-Spirit is coming back on the pod very soon, so keep an eye out for that.
Sick.
But yes. And then shout out Snacks, who directed it once again and is the mind behind these shows and like the pen behind these shows. So yeah, and who I'm working with very closely to put together our show. So there's lots of emails flying back and forth between me and Snacks right now. So shout out Snacks. Thank you for being you. So tell me what about the way that they used the stage and the setting and like again just that venue is just so iconic, and what Darcy has done to it over the years, just kind of like all the little details wherever you turn. I just love it. Especially like I was in awe. I've been to Oasis so many times over the years, but I haven't been in a bit, and so to me the murals in the bathroom and the mood light shifting, that the way that the light shifts from like purple to green to red to purple to pink to red was new to me. So I was just like, ooh, I'm so excited I'm hosting an event here. But what was it about the way that they used the stage that like you want to try to incorporate into our show?
Well, I think the cool thing is that every phase of the stage itself was incorporated, right? Like they have like this large, I don't even know what the words are.
Like
but
the Jumbotron?
Like basically, yeah, they have like the Jumbotron. So that sets the stage of like, oh, we're in the living room. We're in this area. We're in that area. So it's like, that's super simple. Yeah. They also have like the runway of the stage. So that can set apart the dancing, or whatever, movement. And then just how they do constant quick changes and through curtain things here, like they'll close the curtain next scene, close the curtain next character. Like it was just a lot of like seamless transition and moves of like, and each not just of the stage but of the space is being incorporated. Like there's other parts and other people moving around at different parts of the seating, so it's just all interactive.
Yeah, and I would love how they would like run through the crowd and run to the back and then run through and then like make their way through the crowd to then go backstage to like finish their little number that they were doing. But yeah, it was so good.
I mean, every character has like a twist, a turn, a difference. Like wait, what? Like so different spin and stuff. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And so then the other thing that we just came back from was our very whirlwind trip to Las Vegas. Las Vegas was very good to us. Taking that first flight out on Monday morning, which was way more packed than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Which was part of the reason why I was taking that early flight. And so that was not worth it. And also just checking out that early was just insane. I was delirious for like 2 days. So we're not doing that ever again. But we do want to go back to Vegas because Vegas was so good to us. And we did leave with new friends of the pod. You just saw Scarlet Business on the most recent episode of the podcast. I low-key have a new pod crush on Scarlet Business. I want Scarlet to be my friend. So we're going to go back to Vegas just to get Scarlet back on the show, Scarlet alone. But then I've been finding some people on social media, some new people that Vegas-based, because I think the algorithm is now feeding me Vegas-based people too. But like the singer from the Maverick show said that he was down to come on the show. You know who I think actually would be fun to have back too is April. I feel like we barely scratched the surface with April. Yeah. Talk to me about booking April as a guest and having her show up with her bag full of friends. Yeah. No, we will say friends at the same time.
Yeah. Nailed it. April was fantastic from jump. Our initial message, she's like, "What do you need? Where do I need to be? What is it going to look like?" And she was just really cool. And I was like, okay, so here's, like we have to be here. This is the situation. And I was like, just give me 3 things that you're nerdy about, whatever. And she gave me like 15 things.
This is great.
And I thought I did enough research from what I understood of her career, and there was about 100 more things we could have touched. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, she was super kind, super cool, super professional, and just really interesting.
Yeah, I wanna do the. I had a couple of games in mind for her. We got through one of them, and I do want to do that puppet dating game one, especially
Yes.
after having interacted with her and the puppets.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so fun to have her and me be like the one that's dating the puppets, and have you from the background host like the puppet dating.
Yeah, I think it would be hilarious. Yeah,
dating show. That would be fun.
that'd be fun.
And then talk to me about Scarlett. Talk to me about, you sort of helped me produce Scarlett, and one of the amazing things that I'm so grateful for that you did was like go down, and because our hotel was so big, shout out Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, beautiful property, but like you could easily get lost, and so I was not trying to have people come find us, so you were very generous, and you would go downstairs and go meet them and then escort them out. So I can only imagine because everybody else was pretty incognito, right? Like you're just kind of going downstairs and meeting like a regular person and just like walking them through the casino. What was it like going downstairs and A, seeing Scarlett in full geesh, and B, escorting this like peacock of a human being through the casino over to the podcast?
It felt very almost like a movie scene, like we were going to the Oscars or something. Just everyone gets out of the way. Here comes a star. It was very, yeah. I was walking through the lobby and I was like, okay, let's see. There's a couple over there. There's a group over there. Oh, there is a very, very vivacious person standing over there brushing their hair in full outfit. Walked up,
Neon green.
said, "Are you a handshake or a hugger?" Said, "Oh, absolutely a hugger." I was like, "This is wonderful, solid start." We just and then people just it was literally like just parting of the seas. It's like
And then I
everyone knew-
love because when you walked in, I was standing like around the corner, so I couldn't see you two walk in, but I could hear you. And Scarlett was on the phone, like, oh yeah, I just walked into like a whole thing. Yeah, this is like a thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll talk to you. It was so funny. But Scarlett was just ready to go, just like full energy.
Very complimentary, very cool.
Yes.
Very professional. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
very
God.
funny. Very
Yes. I mean, even now when I was editing through the podcast and like pulling out clips, like it just makes my job so easy when I have so many options to pick from and so many fun clips to pick from, and like, that she's so animated, and like from the jump, you'll see from the jump and the introduction, like she was being so animated that I had to just just cut me out of the frame, just fully focus on her doing her damn thing, because
Let her
it
do
was
her
just
thing.
so cute. Yeah. So yes. And if you've been watching this podcast for long enough, you know that I have ADD hyperfixations on guests and former guests. It was Phoebe once, and many moons ago. It was Beef for a while. Chucha was my obsession for a while. So welcome, Scarlett, to my friends in my brain. I collect little dolls in my brain. So yeah, you're now one of the little dolls in my brain that I collected.
Welcome to the fold.
Welcome to the Barbie dollhouse in my brain. Speaking of dolls, Bella. Bella was such a delight. Such a cute human being. So sweet, so talented, and such an I love people that have odd choices in their artistic expression. Hello, I come from the drag school of Mama Celeste in Florida, man. So Bella's number, which we did keep some of the mystique around the number, which you also heard in Scarlett's episode with all the quacking. Yes, talk to me about Bella. Talk to me about helping me produce Bella. Talk to me about being there when we recorded with Bella. Talk to me about seeing the Maverick show, seeing both Scarlett and Bella at the Maverick show the night before, and then turning around and wham bam interviewing them the next day, which was so fun.
Well, the thing was about her was I wouldn't say that I lost her, to be clear, but she was like, "Oh, I'm over here, I'm over there." I was like, "Is that even part of our hotel?" Like, I wasn't sure if I
couldn't
accidentally.
find her?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could if I exactly gave her the right address.
Oh wow, this
initially.
is this is behind the scenes tea that I didn't even know.
Yeah, and so I was like, she's like, "Oh, I'm at this restaurant over here." I was like, "I don't think that exists." Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I found her. It was great, and she was really cool.
Was she like at the steakhouse or something?
Yeah, she was somewhere we had get the one pocket of the hotel we
hadn't seen yet.
And she was really cool. And then as we were talking, I was like, she's like, what are the questions going to be like? I was like, well, I don't want to reveal anything to give you, too much of a prompt already. But it's just sort of like this, that, or the other, or whatever. And she didn't come off as like nervous or anything, but she's like incredibly humble for somebody who's so talented.
Yes.
And she's just like, no, you're the one doing us a favor.
Oh, yes.
She's like, oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah,
So, cool.
I've found that there's this artist type that is the Venn diagram. They're nerdy, they're fun, they're big on stage, but then when you get them into this setting, they're very kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Which to me is always interesting, and it's an interesting challenge as a podcast host, because not every person that again has like a big personality on stage, it doesn't always show up the same in this kind of setting.
Right.
And so sometimes they get a little clammed up, or sometimes it's like the neurodivergence of it all, right? Like the autism of it all, the whatever of it all. And so it's interesting, not saying that that's what happened with Bella, but there definitely, I could see that like when you had your mini podcast, there was a little bit of that kind of like awkward energy. That's why I had to start leaving the room when you were doing your mini
I am
show.
awkward. So it's fine. We'll just call it the awkward segment.
It should be the awkward show with Seamus.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped giving it a name now. I refer to it as my production manager's ever evolving mini show.
Yeah. Perfect. We don't know what it is. But
And
yeah,
you
I
did
agree.
try to sell me on the idea of it never having a name, and now it's like organically become that.
Yeah.
Every week it has a different name.
You got to do what you got to do with what you got.
You're just gonna force feed me into it.
It is a lot of fun. No, I agree. I think that the show has different pockets where it's different things at different times. But that little segment is just like, here's a weird question. What do you think? We were like, I don't know. I'm like, all right, that's been our time. But no, they've been great. They've been gracious and fun.
Well, because you all, we have now been in this process now for a minute, right? And especially while we were in Vegas, because we were basically spending a lot of time together. And I basically put you a little bit through the ringer, and because I'm trying to challenge you and I want you to grow, and I want you to take as much as you can out of this experience. And so when you pitch me podcast questions, I make it almost like a writer's room. Like we sit down, I make him pitch me, I give him very honest, very fast feedback, something that I learned at my current day job. And I know that sometimes that's not easy, right? Because sometimes I'm basically shooting down your ideas. But then that's kind of where this, it became a funnel for your mini show. Because one of the challenges, right, that we are seeing, and that's part of your growth, is that when you're writing for me, you're writing for me. Right. You're still trying to learn what my voice is, what turns me on. Because, I have a very specific approach to my podcast, right? Like I want it to be quirky. I want it to be weird. I want it to be like unusual. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a space for the type of questions that you're asking. Those are your voice. And I never want you to lose your voice. And so we give you your mini show so that you still have a chance to use your voice and ask your silly questions. But then along the way, you're also learning my voice and the way that I like to ask questions. So it's been an interesting challenge.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been very fun.
Yeah, it's and to be clear, I don't love criticism whatsoever, even in the slightest. But no, you're not being critical. You never have. And because I always John Light, shout out John Light, who's been on the show, said like watch Carlin, watch Pryor, listen to those guys. Like their first attempts are dog shit.
Yeah.
Like you have an idea, maybe it works. He calls it groceries. Like there's something there. If there's nothing there the first time, that doesn't mean it won't be in 6 months, 6 minutes, 6 seconds. Just like take your time, be patient or whatever. So when I'll write stuff, I'm like, hey, I'm excited about this question. And you're like, huh? I'm like, thinking, and I'm glad that you're excited about this, but think about what I ever say it. I'm like, no.
And it's interesting, right? Because and I do feel for you, and I want to uplift you, but I also just don't want to like baby you, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And so,
Fair line.
yeah. And so, but it's been good, and it'll be a process, and it'll be an ever evolving process. The more that we spend time together, the more you're going to learn, what my voice is, what my point of view is. The more we flex that muscle, the more comfortable you'll get. And the more that we sit down in that writer's room setting and I shoot you down, the more you'll get okay with it. And then it won't, like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't sting as much.
Sure.
Because it's just part of the process. You know what I mean? And like, think of it as, I'm your Lorne Michaels. This is like our SNL. And like, that's the level that I want. Like, I want high production value. I want this to have, long reach. I want it to have, like that evergreen, quality to it, that it can live on YouTube forever. And like, if somebody's watching this 5 years from now, 10 years from now, they're still enjoying it because it's compelling. It's timeless. It's gold.
I love that.
It's magic, baby.
I love that. Yeah, that's a perfect attitude and positivity to have, and I agree.
Yeah.
I want to stand the test of time. I'll tell you that.
But it takes time, right? I started this show in 2017, and I told you in the beginning I was just copies of other people. And then it took a while for me to find my voice, and it's still ever evolving. Like the Patreon is a chance for us to experiment, and even that is ever evolving. And to me, that is life. That is like, if you are living a good life, you are ever evolving and growing and changing. Because if you're not, you're stagnant, and stagnation is the closest thing to death in my book.
Right.
That's what my grandfather, Joni Lukis, used to say in so many words. I just made it sound nicer, but yeah.
Sounds pretty sweet when you say it.
Okay, so we talked April, we talked Scarlett, we talked Bella. Talk to me about booking your friend and producing your friend.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Shout out Chris May. Thanks for being on the show.
Shout out.
The best,
you were fun.
The best is he comes up to
Although
me.
you scared me. What, you silly goose. You scared me from doing what I wanted to do. But you know what? You owe me. And next time when we come back, you're going to be my bodyguard with Seamus when we go down the strip.
Yeah. He comes up to me and he goes, so what kind of podcast is this? Like, is it cool if I swear? And I was like, yeah, we'd prefer. Like,
no, but silly me. I don't know
Yeah.
who I'm dealing with. So I do my usual answer, which is fuck cunt shit. Because to me, I don't like to censor people.
Yeah.
So I let people curse. I just wasn't expecting.
Yeah. So I said, you know what, bud, you can cuss just, maybe after 10-ish minutes or so. And he's like, I got you.
Because of the YouTubes and all.
Yeah, because YouTube. And she does her wonderful intro. She says, hi, I'm MeMeCherry, and this is, and he immediately drops the N-word for like a solid 10 seconds. And I was like, he goes, oh, my bad, and then keeps going and I was like, well, hopefully the FCC doesn't see this, because this episode will go in the archive for the.
I mean, it's just gonna be a lot of quacks.
Well, no, I told my
buddy. It
buddy.
just means that I get to edit a lot of quacks in.
I told my other buddy, I was like, I think we broke the Tarantino's record for the use of the N-word on film, because my God, he went hard.
I mean, that Sprite bottle, I don't think had Sprite in it. So
He's a funny guy, yeah.
I think he was a little lubricated.
He goes, how'd we do? And I went, well, we did. We made an episode with you. It is made. So
we made content.
we did make content. Yeah.
No, but he was very sweet. He was very nice. He's very smart. He was fun. We were singing a lot, and it was great. And he kept me company while I rhinestoned my face, and you ran around making phone calls. You were like, I don't know, like ambassador to like, some country or something, because you kept running around like solving world problems.
Yep. I'm a busy man. For being so
I'd
bald,
look up and I'd be like, what the fuck? Where the fuck he go? He just disappeared.
For a bald man, I have many hats.
You were like Pink Panther, yo. You would be there 1 second and then be gone. So he kept me company while I rhinestoned my face. So thank you, Chris, for that. But yeah, that was fun. Before we go on a commercial break, talk to me about my sweet, sweet friend, Jake, who I call Jakey, who you all know as a different content creator name that we no longer say. But yes, you'll connect the dots when you see Jake on the pod. But talk to me about seeing somebody who has made content creation their job and does it successfully. I mean, I'm in awe of Jake, and he's so young and so accomplished and so talented.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is that it's always, maybe it's just turning 35, but it's just that feeling of like, oh, well, let me teach you something. And then I sort of like learned his backlog and talked to him and stuff. And I was like, nope, this young individual knows everything that I could ever know and more. Very intelligent, very kind, very interesting.
Yeah. Very generous.
A lot of great pointers. He definitely is going to help your brand, but now that I'm part of it, our brand. And just really accessible, really cool.
I know.
We really lucked out with not only talented and funny and interesting people, but just really kind and patient and willing to just, not a single one of them was like, I have to say what? I have to do, like, just really great attitudes, which is rare,
I know. Everybody played ball. Everybody said yes and. Everybody was excited. Everybody was happy. Everybody was grateful. Yeah, I mean, I would have every single one of them back on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Easily and happily. Yeah. So yeah, no, I did not expect Vegas to be this successful, and I do think that we have a future trip to Vegas in our eyesight sooner than I thought. So I feel like, yeah. So if you were one of those guests, hi. Hope you had a good time with us. I hope you would come back. And please spread the word. If you know of a content creator, an entertainer, an interesting person that's based in Las Vegas that you think that we should have on the show, please send them our way so that we can book them. With that in mind, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to give you all on the main feed a little teaser of what we have going on in the Patreon. What that is, you're going to have to stick around and find out. Hold on, we'll be right back.
Hi, hola, bonjour. It's MeMeCherry, your friendly neighborhood podcaster, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the sponsor of our show, Neil Does Art. Thank you, Neil Does Art, for sponsoring SOFE Pod and MeMeCherry Productions. At neildoesart.com, you're going to find a full range of Eastern Sierra photography-inspired art. It's accessible art, art for all. And if you're anything like me and you like stickers, we love stickers around here. You can get some cute stickers like this. She looks like she's got something to tell you. She's looking at you like, you're 5 minutes late, and you were supposed to be here 30 minutes ago. That's what she's saying. Then we have this cute little deer who's kind of like, hey, Beach, we saw you from across the bar. And then this little squirrel moment that's very much giving you, hey, Beach. Thank you, Neil Does Art, for sponsoring the show. Check them out, neildoesart.com. Use promo code CHERRY for 10% off.
I was wondering, do you remember that you have a Patreon?
Wait, I have a Patreon?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Not only do you have a Patreon, but you also have a certain level of each Patreon that each person can aspire to become.
Yes, you can aspire to be one of my patrons.
What is the first level?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked. The honey level. And in the honey level, you're going to get a sticker in the mail. You're also going to get production credit.
Hey.
And you also get access to hot cam footage, editing footage that used to end up on the editing room floor digitally that now ends up in your hot little pockets in your honey level of the Patreon.
What is the second tier?
We have a sugar tier. In the sugar tier, you're going to get not one sticker. You're going to get 2 stickers in the mail every month. You're going to get the production credit.
Hey.
You're going to get the hot cam footage.
Okay.
But you're also going to get the new Patreon exclusive What's in My Snurse, and or just other Patreon exclusive content that would not be at the honey level, because honey, you're okay, but you're not sugar. If you take sugar and you throw it in a pot, put a little heat on it,
Okay.
you get caramel.
There's a caramel tier now?
That's the top tier.
Okay. I have to know, what is in the caramel tier?
What's in the caramel? You get 2 stickers in the mail every month. You know that you also get a little note handwritten by me?
What?
Yes, everybody gets a note with the stickers.
Well, that's fun.
I mean, it's like Christmas, I told you.
Okay.
You get the stickers. You get the production credit because you're what? A producer.
Hey.
You get the hot cam footage. You get the snurse footage. You get the other Patreon exclusive footage, but you also, and we are coming up on the first drop of these that people are going to get t-shirts in the
Look at these.
mail because every 6 months, the caramel level gets a t-shirt in the mail. So yeah, so that is the Patreon.
Patreon.
Hello, we're back.
We're back.
I hope you enjoyed that commercial break. We're going to give you a little preview of what happens over at the Patreon. First of all, what is this Patreon? Patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions. It helps this glittery pirate ship stay afloat. It helps me keep this young man have a steady paycheck. And it helps just maintain the show and keep it going to amazing places like Las Vegas. Take it back to Las Vegas. I do want to take it to Miami. I do want to go back to Puerto Rico. We want to go all over the place. And one of the ways that we can do that is with your help. And by joining said Patreon, you get a few things. You get production credit. You get things in the mail like stickers. You might even get something like a t-shirt in the mail, depending on what Patreon level you are. But one of the things that you definitely get if you're a part of the sugar and caramel tiers is Patreon exclusive content like What's in My Telfie? This is Terry the Telfie. Tiana the Telfie turned into a gremlin, had water and pizza overnight. I turned around and suddenly Terry the Telfie showed up also. There's 3 of them now. So Terry is full of new questions. It used to be what's in my snurse. It's now what's in my Telfie. And Seamus, my sweet, sweet friend, you're going to pull out 7, lucky number 7 little slips out of Terry the Telfie. I'm going to ask you those questions. You can start pulling them out and putting them on the table. And then when we are done asking you these questions, you're going to then pick 3 of those and flip them back on me to answer. And this is the kind of fun content that you can find over at Patreon. And the thing about the Telfie questions is that they're usually either a little extra silly or a little extra naughty. So yeah, that's why they're over at the Patreon. But for today, you get to have them here on the main show. I ask you the questions first.
Ooh, that's right.
And then you flip
Sorry,
them on
I did
me.
that backwards. I'm excited.
I know you're like the power tumbler in Scarlet has taken over both of us. We're both power tumblers now. Your pet becomes a world famous celebrity. What kind of content are they making?
Yeah, my pet becomes world famous. I would love to have a world famous dog, almost like Air Bud.
Okay.
So flips, jumps.
So like a basketball dog?
Yeah.
And what is this dog's
Circus
name?
animal. Magical Michael.
Wow.
I don't know.
What's a completely useless skill you're oddly proud of?
What's a completely useless skill that I'm oddly proud of? I can whistle any tune.
Ooh, any tune.
Well, not maybe any, but a lot of tunes. Yeah.
Can you whistle while you work?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
If
Killed
someone made a custom perfume or cologne inspired by you, what are 3 scent notes in it, and what is the name of it?
Okay. I would have said wood chips because I used to smell like a tree all the time.
Oh, okay.
When I was an arborist. I would say.
I thought it was some kind of joke of like smoking weed.
No. I would say, yeah, although that is good. I would say, well, shout out Old Spice because they were Old Spice.
Hey.
Okay, Old Spice.
Oh.
Bart smoke.
Oh, Bart smoke?
Yeah, because Bart's always smoky. There's always somebody smoking something on Bart.
Okay.
And
It's so specific. Bart smoke.
Yeah, and
Not Dolores Park smoke. Bart the smoke.
I'm
Shout out
constantly.
Bart.
I work at bars a lot, so I'm constantly cleaning with like cleaning. So probably cleaning supplies.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
What are we calling this bottle of
Oakland-
Old Spice
Oakland Mist.
Bart smoke?
Oakland Mist.
Oakland Mist. Okay.
Yeah.
You wake up and suddenly every time you clap, something happens. What is it?
What? You wake up and suddenly every time you clap, something happens.
I wrote some new questions for what's in my Telfie, and they've gone a little extra unhinged.
I love this. I would say a new family gets a home.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I'm gonna wait till somebody flips it on me. I was gonna tell you my answer, but that's not how the game works. You have to flip it on me first. You get to fly, but only when you're screaming a curse word at full volume. Are you flying? And if so, what's the word?
I'm definitely flying.
Okay, so what are you screaming at full volume? It has to be a curse word.
It's definitely the C word.
God.
Yep.
And you're singing it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm giving it the full register for sure.
What reality show would you dominate?
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hey,
No.
Womp, womp, womp. As the guest, every once in a while they do have a straight guy. Like they have like straight guys that come on for the makeovers, and once in a blue moon, one of them like becomes like a little viral hit.
Yeah.
I could see you being the straight guy that goes on Drag Race for a makeover, and then everybody falls in love with you.
I would say I would crush it. Bad Girls Club.
That's even better.
Mostly because I know somebody who's on that show.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Get them for the pod. Oh my God. Last but not least, aliens knock on your door and demand a single food item to represent Earth. What are you feeding them? Do you like how chaotic these got?
Blueberry Pop-Tarts.
Oh wow, that's so specific.
Yeah.
Oh. And are you heating them up or are you getting them fresh out just out the bag raw?
Actually, you know what? I would say your humble alien overlord. Two items.
Oh.
Because we like
Of
variety. We like
course.
variety on Earth.
Choices.
I would say cold blueberry Pop-Tarts.
So fresh out the bag.
Warm toaster strudel.
Oh, with the cream on it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. You got to.
Grab
Safe,
3 of those and flip them
safe.
on me, baby.
Okay.
Flip it on me, baby.
All right.
And while you do that, grab that t-shirt over there so I can show it off, please.
Oh, yes.
While you do that, this is another shirt that you can get in the mail if you are a part of the caramel tier. I'm actually sending out t-shirts right now. The t-shirt designs do rotate. So, for example, this was last year's design. So enjoy it while you can, because you know what? You can't even get that anymore. But you know what you can get is other shirts. Sign up so you can get a shirt. Okay, you picked.
I have picked, and I'm excited for these.
Okay.
If
We love
someone
excitement.
made a custom perfume inspired by you, what are the 3 scent notes, and what is the perfume called?
So I feel like before I went back to Puerto Rico, my answer would have been different. But now that I went back to Puerto Rico, it's now completely going to have to be very Puerto Rican based. So it's definitely going to have like that sea salt kind of fresh, beachy smell, some coconut, and some mango.
Okay.
And we're calling it Isla del Encanto, which is one of the like names that Puerto Ricans have for Puerto Rico, which is like the island of enchantment, La Isla del Encanto. That's what I'm calling it.
Okay. I think our ad would be, welcome to the MeMeCherry Show, produced by things I can't pronounce.
La Isla del Encanto. So La.
No, I'm not doing that.
Do it.
No. This isn't part of my contract.
Yes, it is.
La
Isla
Isla
de
de
El
El
Encanto.
Encanto.
You did it.
Okay, I did it. Shout
You
out
just
to
have to
them.
break it down into pieces.
Shout out to them. Well, you'll hear my pitch in 6 months.
Go.
Okay. Question number 2. You wake up and suddenly every time you clap, something happens. What is it?
And again, these are usually Patreon exclusive questions. What's in my telfie? You're welcome. Come join the Patreon party. You get these every week. So I wake up and suddenly every time I clap, something happens.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody around me turns just a little bit gayer.
Hey, feeling it already. And we're back.
Last but not least.
Which reality show would you dominate?
Ooh, which reality show would I dominate? You know, and this might be an odd answer, but a show I secretly want to be on, and I feel like I would dominate, is Below Deck. And I want to be like a chief stew because I love the idea of like, well, not all the charter guests are fun, but like when it's fun charter guests and being able to do like the fun little themed parties for them and like have an unlimited budget to like order, you know, top shelf things and like deliver top shelf experiences, like to be able to, I love experiences and like my day job is taking care of people and I do plan events every once in a while, and every once in a blue moon I get to plan like a really over the top event. And so the idea of being able to do that on a boat, it kind of seems exciting to me. Like it would be a fun challenge for my brain, for like my admin brain. And to like be in some like exotic location too. Like that's one of the perks of my current job is that like once in a blue moon again I get to like travel. I'm very busy most of the time, but like before I worked at this company I had never been to London, for example. And so this year I get to go back to London, and so part of my job is to like put on a fabulous event for like the people that, you know, I work for. And so I feel like something like Below Deck, I'd be able to use those skills and, you know, the drama of it all, of like being in close quarters with people and like flirting with like your coworkers. Like that's very me coded.
I just want to be there for the jet skis.
So my beautiful puppies and kitties and everybody in between that's listening, that is your Patreon preview. So if you like that, and if you want other Patreon exclusive content like what's in my telfie, like Seamus's ever evolving mini show that I still will always call Tiny Late Show, but he refuses, which will eventually just have the show with no name. Here's Seamus's show with no name. But you get to watch that evolve. You basically get to watch the MeMeCherry network grow from a little seedling into hopefully a garden right from your living room. How about you? You tell them why they should join the Patreon.
I think you should join the Patreon because we're doing something pretty fun. We're gathering folks that normally wouldn't mesh in a lot of different areas, and we need your support in order to bring you more fresh, fun content, because where this journey has started and to where we've gone already has been way past anything I can imagine. And
every dollar you send helps feed a sad comedian like Seamus.
And PBS viewers like you.
No, I'm teasing. Okay. They just saw Scarlett on the last episode. Mm-hmm. They are gonna see the rest of our last Las Vegas guests coming up after this episode. Mm-hmm. Give them one word. Let's each say one word for the guests coming up so that they can look forward to these guests. So I'll prompt you. You say a word, I say a word. So, April.
Hot.
I
mean, she is, but no.
This is more than one word.
Entertaining. She's entertaining. She's hot.
She's cute. This is more than one word, but she made me kiss a puppet I never thought I would kiss. Your friend Chris.
Trouble.
On my mama. Bella.
Elegant.
So sweet. Jakey.
Mysterious.
Elusive unicorn. Yeah, Jakey's coming to us very super secret, mysterious guest style because you used to see them on the internet, their visage, aka their face. They are currently in what I call cocoon mode. So they are not showing their visage, not showing their face to the world. You will see Jakey one of these days, but right now they are in cocoon mode, and we respect that on our show. Then we have some more people coming down the line that we have booked. We have today we're recording with another one of your booked guests. We have some other booked guests of yours coming down the line. I'm
excited.
We have some returning guests on my end. We have, keep an eye out for Mother Two Spirit, who's coming back. Keep an eye out for Nicole Jizzington, who's returning a guest. I think Nikki is going to be on my version of the SNL 5-time hosts. Nikki, this is going to be Nikki's, I think, 3rd time on the pod. And so she'll be one of those like most returning guests. We have Finn Deerhart returning. Finn was one of those back when it was audio only days.
Nice.
So that's quite the boomerang guest. Do you want to tease who you have booked?
For today or for
in general?
Forward? I have a couple. It's interesting. So we're getting towards the tail end of my comic friends, and we're starting to move towards some other stuff like poets, spoken word artists, rappers, and some other things. Next week, I'm starting to work on somebody pretty interesting that has been a hard get so far. So I'm excited. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting people coming through.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
it'll be fun.
Well, what do you think, co-pilot? Is this flight ready to land?
We're here.
Do you want to land the plane?
I think you should. It's your show. It's too much pressure.
I'm trying to save my energy for your guest.
Okay. Well, I can land it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the love and support. And please join and support the Patreon so we can keep bringing you great content.
August 7th.
August 7th, Oasis, our live show, her live show, the bake of the one and only MeMeCherry. It's the world's...
The Bay Area's first
Bay Area's
reversed
roast. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for being here. We love you the most. Bye.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate events. Fortunate events. Fortunate events.